What is going on, guys? Today in this video, I'm going to be doing a short, quick review on the Insta360 One X, a pocketable 360-degree action cam coming up right after this. All right, so this is the 360 camera that I'm talking about. This is the Insta360 One X, and this may very well be the most exciting, fun camera I've ever used. This thing has a compact, sleek, pocketable design. It shoots in 5.7K at 24, 25, or 30 FPS, 4K at 30 FPS and 50 FPS, and 3K at 100 FPS for super slow motion. This thing has dual lenses that cover a 400-degree view. This thing easily connects via Wi-Fi or via USB cable to your Android or iOS devices, easily connects to the app, which lets you edit and output your videos straight to your desired format, has built-in 6-axis stabilization with electronic stabilization as well, and believe me, it's wicked stable. Bullet time mode, which lets you swing the camera above your head for matrix-like 360-degree slow motion, built-in interval shooting for time lapses, and the ability to shoot photos in RAW, a quote-unquote invisible selfie stick, which screws into the bottom here. When this stick is attached, the software automatically eliminates the stick from the frame, and so it looks like the camera's floating. It's pretty trippy. I'll show you an example of that. That is definitely a kite surfer. Also, this selfie stick extends out 3 ways. I will also leave links in the description for the selfie stick and the attachment that you need to do the bullet time video. And here's an example of the bullet time video. Now, here are some things that I didn't like about the camera. So this thing is not anywhere near as rugged as a GoPro. In fact, I would not want to drop this device at all. The camera lenses actually protrude beyond the body, and this makes it really difficult if you want to try to set it down on a flat surface. You don't want to scratch the lenses. It's also weather resistant, but it isn't weather tight like a GoPro, so I would not want to get this thing very wet. In fact, if you were to look on the bottom here, the micro USB slot is exposed. Battery life in my testing wasn't stellar either. I got about 40 minutes at most before I had to recharge. And I don't know if this is the case with all 360 cams. This is the only one I've ever used. But where the 2 images are put together in software, there's a weird distortion where the 2 images meet. And if you have the camera at the right angle, that distortion will actually go right across your face. Also, it is nice having the SD card slot easily and accessible like that, but it's actually really difficult to get in and out. But I have to admit, it's also difficult to remove it from the GoPro as well. Well, that's it for the pros and cons, but I have to tell you guys, this is probably the most exciting camera that I've ever used. It's so neat, it just fits in your pocket. The ability to take video and not have to worry about where you point the camera is awesome. This thing captures everything, and it's a little bit of a novelty when you go to play it back. You're able to use your finger or the mouse to look at all 360 degrees that the camera captured, and I think that's really cool, and it's a fun toy to play with. But where the real power lies with this camera is the ability in post to go in and frame the shot exactly how you want. If you want it to follow you, you click a tab in software and it'll follow your face. If you want it to be in front of you, you click another tab, it'll pan to the front, or it'll pan to the side, or it'll pan up, or it'll pan down. Just being a video creator and having the ability to capture everything around you, so that if something happened behind you that you would normally miss with a forward-facing camera, is captured with this camera. It's super fun. I haven't played with any of the other 360 cams. I know GoPro has a Fusion that was about $700. They've actually recently reduced the price down to $299. I will put a link in the description down below if you want to check that camera out as well, and I will put a link to this one as well. But I know that they were having a lot of issues with the GoPro with the software. It's definitely a lot more rugged than this camera is, but if the experience isn't as good, and that's the other thing that makes this camera super cool. Now, the app is real easy. It just connects right up with Wi-Fi, or you can plug in the USB dongle, and you're able to, right in the app, go in and make all of your edits and output to Facebook or to YouTube or to wherever you need to. You're also able to download the video right from here onto your phone, or they actually have a desktop studio software that you can offload if you want to use more of a desktop editor, which is free, and I'll include links to that as well. Also, the stabilization in this camera was wonderful. I found it to be better than the GoPro and the DJI that I tested a few weeks ago. Now, I'm not able to turn the stabilization off on this camera to give a before and after, but here's some footage of the GoPro on the exact same road with the stabilization off. Here is a video sample of the stabilization on the same road that I tested those two cameras a couple of weeks ago. Check it out. All right, so I took this camera out over the weekend, and here is some video footage of it. If you guys found this video useful, please do not hesitate to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing.